Welcome back. We're still with Dr. Michila Olashipo, an analyst, and of course we're looking at the ministerial list. Welcome and thanks for joining us once again.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
Well, the president came on arrival with this anti-corruption posture and still has that change mantra. But some of the people on his list, the nominees, have corruption issues surrounding them. Are these going to the situation right now? Is it going to help his corruption, anti-corruption crusade, as it were?
As a matter of fact, when President Muhammadu Buhari came to power, in fact, his presence actually sent a very strong message to the nook and cranny of this country that the era of profligacy, the era of kleptomania, the era of reckless spending are over in Nigeria. And that actually made many Nigerians to be conscious of demonic disease, which I called corruptions. Corruption in Nigeria today has become so insidious to the extent that it has decapacitated, depressed, and of course, killed scores of Nigerians. So for that, everybody knows the demonic effect and catastrophic consequence of the corruption in our society. So for that, we must do everything possible to ensure that whomsoever is going to come to power must not be charged with corrupt practices. Now, talking about those who have one corruption charges or the other among these ministerial nominees, I want to believe that most of these so-called corruption charges against these nominees, to me and to many Nigerians, they are politically motivated. Politically motivated in the sense that it has never been substantiated by any court of law that Mr. A has actually been charged for corruptions, and it has been established that he actually involved in a particular corrupt practices.
Okay, maybe we should put it this way. Of course, there are corruption issues which Nigerians took really seriously.
Okay.
Should we still have such persons come back?
Actually, anybody that has been charged with corruptions or anybody that has been established to be involved in corrupt practices, to me, such an individual is not eligible to be part of this government, considering the basic philosophy of this government on anti-corruption crusade, because there is no tolerance for corruptions. So non-tolerant war against corruption, that is the philosophy of this administration. So it will be contradictory for such an administration to now accommodate an individual that has been charged with corruptions. And it's even very, very disheartening for a government officials who have been charged with corruption to now be taking the government vehicles to the court to answer the charges of corruptions. Is it not counterproductive? So I want to advise that anybody that we are going to bring into the government, anybody who is going to lead Nigerians, anybody who is going to participate in this administration must be very clean. Clean in the sense that he must be conscious of this particular disease called corruptions. And it is not expected of Mr. President to accommodate, to appoint, not even for ministerial appointment, for any appointment, anybody that has been charged with corruptions, anybody that has been involved in corrupt practices, such an individual is not eligible to be part of this administration. Otherwise, Nigerians will not take this anti-corruption crusade serious. People will look at it as if it is a facade, and for that, the president will lose the confidence of Nigerians. So whenever he's going to make other appointments, or this current appointment too, once an individual has been charged with corruptions and it has been established that such an individual involved in corrupt practices, I think the best thing to do for the Mr. President is to drop such an individual, because he must have lost moral right to contribute into this administration. So my take on this is that Mr. President should do everything possible to scrutinize the characters, the morals, and of course, the manners of each and every individual is bringing into his cabinet.
When you take a look at that list, did you have your own specifics when it came to these corruption issues?
Actually, there have been so many rumors surrounding the activities of some of these immediate past governors, like former Governor Rotimi Amechi, former Governor Raji Fasola, and of course some other members of these ministerial nominees. There have been rumors from different quarters that they were involved in one corrupt practices or the other while they were in office. But the point is that has this rumor been substantiated by the court of law? Because anybody can come out and say anything about any individual. Anybody can come out and say that Mutula is corrupt. What has Mutula done to make him to be a corrupt person? So this is the case. So I want those people who have one or two things against these individuals. Let's forget about the inordinate ambition. Let's forget about this acrimonious politics that is very, very expected of many people within the party. You know, let's forget about all this. Let's talk about the reality. Let us assess them objectively. I believe that Mr. President nominated these individuals due to their performance and their contribution towards his victory as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So he found it very comfortable to work with them. If we have seen any negative attitudes among these people, we Nigerians, we should be the watchdog of this particular government, because this government is actually enjoying our mandate.
Now, finally, we hear that the president wants to head the Ministry of Petroleum, and lawmakers want him also to be questioned. What do you think?
I don't think it's rational for the lawmakers to talk about screening the Mr. President, who had actually nominated himself as Minister of Petroleum. But the point is that this particular allegation had actually been cleared by the chairman Senate Committee on Media and Publicity. I'm talking about the Senator Dino Menai. He said there have never been any insinuation of such within the Senate that they are not going to investigate or screen the Mr. President for that. So I don't think we should entertain any fear as regards to that. So the Mr. President is not going to be screened. They are only going to restrict their screening to the ministerial nominees submitted to the Senate.
So you do not support it, support some lawmakers?
No, I don't. It is irrational. What are we going to gain from it? Of course, there are so many issues that they need to discuss rather than to screen the minister. I mean, to screen the president, who appointed himself as a coordinating minister of petroleum. And he does that just because of the strategic importance of this particular ministry. I'm talking about the Ministry of Petroleum Resources in Nigeria. You see, this is a ministry that gives Nigeria the bulk of revenues, to the extent that the successive government in Nigeria relied heavily on the revenues from the oil. So if there is any problem with this oil, it means there's going to be economic depression in Nigeria, as we have witnessed in the last few months. When we had a fluctuation in the oil price, it affected Nigerians' economy terribly. And some economics analysts actually stated that the current economic doldrum we are experiencing in Nigeria was actually informed as a result of the fluctuation in oil price. So if you know the strategic importance of that particular ministry, so I don't think that there's anything wrong if the Mr. President insists that he wants to know what is happening in that ministry. And if you look at all his activities in the last few months, you could see that he had started the cleaning of this particular ministry through NNPC. You know, a lot has been said about the NNPC in the last in the immediate last administration. You know, so all those issues, controversies that surround NNPC are actually been demystified. So that actually makes it possible for Mr. President to now scrutinize and, of course, manage that particular ministry in a very productive manner.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Mutula Olashukwu. Thank you for your time on Dateline Abuja.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Thank you for your mails as always. Please keep them coming using the address and Twitter handle on your screen. And you can let us know anything happening within your locality, especially if you're in the nation's capital. Now, don't you forget to view the program on youtube.com channelsweb/videos. Make your comments after viewing the current video as well as older episodes of the program. It's all available for you online. And thank you for watching this week. I'm Gloria Umezuke. See you again.